Most people are not good. They are just controlled. The system handed them a rule book. Be fair, be kind, turn the other cheek, and they obeyed it without question. They call it morality. What it actually is a leash. And every time someone plays dirty with you, and you stand there clutching that leash like it means something, you are not being virtuous. You are being prey. Here is what nobody will tell you directly. Every time you swallow an insult and whisper, "What goes around comes around," you are not being patient. You are confessing helplessness. You are handing your opponent confirmation that you will absorb the damage and do nothing. That confession is a green light. It tells every predator in the room that you are safe to exploit. The masses have been trained to wait for justice, wait for karma, wait for the universe to balance the ledger. So they wait. And while they wait, the dirty players move forward, accumulate leverage, and restructure the board in their favor. The predator does not pause for fairness. The predator acts while the prey is still composing its moral argument. Think about the last time someone used your honesty against you. They knew your code. They mapped it. They handed you a situation where your own ethics forced you into a corner, and they walked away clean. You felt the sting. You told yourself it was their fault. But fault is irrelevant. What matters is who moved and who stood still. The paradigm shift is not complicated, but it is violent. You must surgically remove the concept of right and wrong from every human interaction and replace it with a single operating lens, cause and effect. Nothing else, not fairness, not decency, not what people deserve, only what is happening, why it is happening, and what leverage exists inside the situation. This is not cynicism, this is clarity, and clarity is the beginning of actual power. Imagine you are sitting across the table from someone, a colleague, a partner, a competitor, and they have just done something that, by any conventional standard, is a betrayal. They threw you under the bus to protect their position. They smiled at you this morning. They look completely relaxed right now. The masses would feel the heat rising in their chest. They would want to confront, to demand an explanation, to make the person acknowledge what they did. That impulse is the trap. The moment you react with emotion, you have handed that person the most valuable thing they could possibly take from you, a map of your pressure points. You have told them exactly where to push next time. Now, they own the manual to destabilizing you. What do you do instead? Nothing visible. You close your face. You maintain the same temperature in your voice. You let them believe they got away with it completely. Because a dirty player who thinks they are safe stops watching you. And a player who stops watching you makes mistakes. Your silence is not weakness. It is the patience of something that does not need to rush. You are no longer responding to the move they just made. You are already studying the architecture of their position, the dependencies they rely on, the alliances that could fracture, the single point where their entire structure becomes fragile. You are not angry. You are a surveyor. This is the core mechanic of what the Stoic predator understands, and the emotional masses never will. Anger is expensive, and information is currency. Every outburst you suppress becomes stored intelligence. Every time you choose observation over reaction, you accumulate a clearer picture of what the other person actually is, not what they present. Most people in your life are performing a version of themselves designed to extract maximum benefit with minimum cost. Your job is not to punish the performance. Your job is to see through it, identify the real structure underneath, and know exactly where the load-bearing wall is. Then you wait. You say nothing. You let them keep performing, because the longer they perform, the more they reveal. Detachment is not indifference. That distinction matters. Indifference means you do not care what happens. Detachment means you care precisely and completely. But your caring does not distort your perception. A chess player does not love or hate the pieces. They love the outcome. They read the board without sentiment. Every piece is evaluated by its function, its position, and its exposure. People are the same. The moment you strip away the emotional noise, the feeling of betrayal, the desire for acknowledgement, the need to be seen as the wronged party, what you are left with is a clean read on who has leverage and who does not. 9 times out of 10, the person who played dirty has a structural weakness they do not even notice because they are too busy enjoying the short-term gain. Short-term players always leave long-term vulnerabilities. You are not a short-term player. This also means you permanently retire the performance of hurt. You stop showing the wound, not because the wound is not real, but because displaying a wound in a predatory environment is an invitation. The masses broadcast their pain because they are hoping for sympathy, for someone to validate their suffering and confirm they were wronged. What they get instead is a second predator who reads the signal and decides to press the same bruise. Close the wound. Do not show it to anyone. Process it alone, in silence, in whatever private space you have constructed away from the eyes of the room. That private space is sacred. What happens there belongs to no one but you. What you bring back into the room is only what serves your objective. Controlled, curated, temperature neutral. The most dangerous version of you is the one no one can read. The next time someone cheats you, lies to you, or moves against you with a smile on their face, you will feel the instinct to react. Let it surface. Acknowledge it internally, completely, without judgment. Then do not act on it. Not yet. Instead, do one specific thing. Go silent and start cataloging. In your mind, open a file on that person. Note exactly what they did, what it tells you about how they operate, and what position they now occupy on the board. That is your only task in that moment. Not revenge, not confrontation, not a cutting remark designed to let them know you see them. Silence, observation, file building. The goal is a complete picture of their pattern, because patterns always repeat, and patterns always reveal the crack. When the crack is wide enough, you will know. You will not need to be told. And when you will move once, precisely, and it will be enough. There is another layer to this. The emotional architecture they use to manipulate where it comes from, how it was built, and why dismantling it from the inside is the only real move. That is the next lesson. It is already waiting.